I remember when I was young, I loved to play video games. There in Mexico City, we have arcades, and you put a coin into those little machines and you start playing video games. I remember not being the best in the beginning to play those video games, but as I start playing and spend all my money in those video games, some of the people who challenge me, because these are fighting arcades, so people will come and challenge you in these arcades, will be actually, they're coming, and as soon as they see me I was in there, they actually walk out because I became so good at it. There was actually, when the Nintendo come out, they come out with a game called Mega Man. I love that game, and I remember waking up. It was my motivation to wake up from the morning, 5 in the morning, and play all day, only take a break to eat, and then play. Sometimes I didn't even went to school because I wanted to play, and I played like 1 a.m. and then go to sleep. I became very obsessed with that game, and I mean, within the game, it was difficult. They have bosses and they have levels that I have to defeat, and many times I was defeated in one level, and I replay that level until I passed that level. When I started driving, when I learned how to drive in Mexico, my family is super poor. We barely make money. I should say, my family barely make money to feed us and buy shoes. A car was out of the picture completely, so we didn't have a car. And for me to learn how to drive, the way I figured out how to learn how to drive. So I started hanging out with people who work as a driver, and I'll ride with them, and I will just beg them and ask them and tell them, and I will annoy them to teach me how to drive. And many of them, I get into their nerves, and many of them, they reject me. They tell me that I'm stubborn, that I was I wasn't listening to them, that no, it means no. But at some point they gave up and they taught me how to drive, and that's how I learned how to drive. When I wanna become in shape and have a nice body, I became very obsessed with it. I went to the gym. Sometimes I went 5 times a week. Sometimes I went 7 times a week. Sometimes when I finished working at I used to have 2, sometimes 3 jobs in a week. And when I finished, sometimes I finished working around 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And I used to go to a 24-hour gym, and I work out at that time, then go home and sleep 3-4 hours, and wake up and go to work and repeat the process. I became very obsessed with it. When I really want something, when something gets my eyes, my attention, and I really like it, I don't stop until I get it. That's called obsessive compulsive, OCD. And many people don't like OCD because we very committed to our goal. We are very into our goal, and we don't stop until we get there. Many times we get rejected, many times we get humiliated, many times people don't like us, and nobody likes to be rejected, nobody likes to be humiliated. But those are the prices that many of us have to pay for our goal, because when we really want something, we go for it. As an example, when I opened my business, I had to sign a lease. And the lease, of course, is a 3-5-year lease. I don't remember if I signed up a 3 or 5-year lease. It's a debt that you're getting into it. Once you sign a lease, nobody is going to tell you this business is going to work or you're going to make it work. It's something that you have to take a risk. It's something that I learned, that either you're in or you out, but you can't be between. You either black or white. You choose something, you go all in, you go everything for it. So when I send the list, I say, okay, I'm gonna make this work. I either going to make my business successful, I'm gonna deliver results to my clients, and my clients gonna love this, and I'm gonna be special in doing what I'm doing, or I just gonna fail, I'm gonna get into debt. And if I get into debt, I pay this debt, even though it's gonna take me 3-4 years to pay the debt, but I'm gonna go all in. So I decided to sign the list, and here you have. I went all in, And my business so far is continue growing. And I think one of the things is because I'm committed to it. And many of us are afraid of being committed. Many of us are afraid of contract. Many of us are afraid of failing. Many of us are afraid of being humiliated and rejected. So what I have learned is that being obsessive compulsive is not a bad thing. Many people who actually achieve higher goals, they have changed people's life, they have changed the world. Steve Jobs, if you're talking about Mother Teresa, you should see Mother Teresa documentary. You should see how obsessive she was about helping the poor people. If you see Gandhi, how obsessive he was about his diet, about breaking the law that wasn't helping the people, about going against the English people that were enslaving the Indians. You should see how great that person was. You should see how Abraham Lincoln was in being a president. These people are obsessive compulsive. They're obsessed with getting things done. They have a goal and they go after it. They don't stop. They just work, and life gets difficult. They get humiliated. They lose loved ones. There is a lot of things that happen to them. They get hurt. There is obstacles in front of them, but they still pushing to get it until they actually reach the goal. So even though I waste a lot of time playing those video games, I noticed that now that one of the great virtues I have is that I'm obsessive compulsive. I'm either all in or I'm all out. But when I am all in, I make it work. I find the way to make it work. I find the problem. I search the problem. I find a solution for that problem. I don't give up. Doesn't matter what happened in my life. I fall into depression. I need surgery. I lost loved ones. The business sometimes doesn't run the way it's supposed to. I get into a stress. Life is just gets difficult, but I continue moving forward towards my goal. And the reason I think it is because I'm obsessive compulsive. So if you are an obsessive compulsive person and people don't like you because you're really in it and you just push, of course you're gonna make people crazy, because people don't like to get out of the comfort zone. People don't like to be challenged. And when people don't like to get out of the comfort zone, when people like the status quo, when people don't like to be challenged, they're not gonna like you. But guess what? If you are obsessive compulsive and then committed to your goal, you're gonna get there. The world, the universe has a way of, when you want something and continue moving forward and pushing, to actually open up for you and help you reach your goal. So don't be afraid if somebody tell you that you're obsessive compulsive, that you are very stubborn, that you're so difficult. That's the only way you're gonna reach to your goal. That once again, let me repeat something. Only less than 5% of people are willing to lose weight and reach their goal and keep a healthy weight for life, because they're obsessive compulsive. Only a small percentage, less than 5% of people are willing to open a business and make it successful because they are obsessive compulsive. Only less than 5% of people have a healthy relationship with their spouse because they're willing to be over the limits. They're willing to be obsessive compulsive. Those are the people that change the world. Those are the people that make a difference here. So don't be shy if you are in school and tell you that and the teacher or your parents or your friends, they tell you that you're just very stubborn, that you have OCD. Be very grateful, because you're gonna achieve something very great in your life. Now, when you become obsessive compulsive, when you are actually obsessive compulsive, put that energy in something positive, and something that is gonna change the world, is gonna change people's life, that is challenging the status quo in a good way, that is making you a better person, that is getting you out of that depression to actually be able to make you life fulfill, for you to actually reach your goal. So once again, let me just real quick tell you the point of this video. The point of this video is, it's okay to be OCD. There is nothing wrong with it. Second, when you are OCD, you're gonna be committed to something. So go all on it. Don't go halfway. Just go on it and put all your obsession into that goal that you hitting. And the third thing is, The only way you can reach that goal and maintain it, because it's not about reaching the goal. Many people have lost 20 pounds, but guess what? Within 3-4 months, a year, 1 month, they regain that weight. Many people have opened a business and keep it open for 6 months, for 1 year, and then they close the business because they can't handle it. So it's not about only reaching the goal. It's about reaching the highest goal you can reach and maintain this goal. And once you maintain that goal, you can always raise your standards. And that's when obsessive compulsives we are so good at. And that's why we continue changing the world. So it's okay to be obsessive compulsive. I hope you like this video. Please like it, share it with people that you know they're gonna benefit from this video. And subscribe to our channels. I'm gonna continue making these kind of videos for you.